the best man, Dean Prince, for a few words.
All right, how we feeling tonight? Good, yeah. Let's go. All right, first things first, I hate my voice and hearing it is awesome for me, so that's great. It wouldn't be right if I didn't wish everyone a happy October 3rd. I know we got some Mean Girl fans out here. Come on, can we give it up for Mean Girl? Happy October 3rd. It's gonna be a fetch wedding. Let's get after it. Let's go. All right, now there's a couple things I just got to interject before we get going. Garrett and Morgan, the dancing, well done, well done. You know, I live with Garrett and Morgan, and you know, getting cheated on feels pretty tough, but they were really sneaking around behind my back on that one. They kept that one pretty close to the vest, so we'll talk about that later at our next house meeting. The other one is seeing Garrett with a ring on his finger. What is up with that, right? I asked him, I'm like, does it feel weird? He's like, yeah, it's okay, but you know, it's actually, I like it, it's pretty easy to take off. And I'm like, that's the first thing you're gonna tell me about your ring, is that it's pretty easy to take off. I'll keep that between me and you, but yeah, I lied about that one. Now I'll get into actually what I'm talking about. A couple thank yous here first. Mr. and Mrs. Bush, thank you. Everything you guys have done. Engagement party. The showers, you guys have been top notch. And Mr. Bush has been so helpful. He thought of any reason he could to get out of the house. He started training for a triathlon. No one in their right mind trains for a triathlon except when they want to get out of the house. Except, where's Brittany Taylor at? She's my triathlon stud, right? What's up, BT? But thank you for everything. And then, of course, my parents. My two favorite people in the world. Oh, great, here we go. Something about a prince with a microphone in the hand, the waterworks come. So I promised you I would cry. I'll try my best, man. But you guys are the most selfless people I know. Done everything for us, and I'll try to keep it right there before I go into too much. But thank you for everything you guys have done. I appreciate that. Everyone that traveled from a lot of different places across the country, California. We got some people from England that I got to meet yesterday. That's amazing. To show them the love to Garrett and Morgan, to be able to travel like that. Awesome, outstanding job for everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Morgan, absolutely stunning. We got a real Game of Thrones, Hogwarts sort of vibe in here. And like, it fits everything. You just look beautiful, and I'm vibing all of it. GP, thanks for making sure your groom's looking good, your hair's on point. I appreciate all of it, my man. All right, I guess I am the stronger, younger brother of the groom, Garrett. I'm also their tenant, my landlords. The highest honor a tenant could have is to be the best man at their landlord's wedding. It's just the top of the tenant totem pole that you could get. I mean, I reached all-time status with them. You know, Garrett, he talked to girls left and right, wheeling and dealing. That's my guy, but no one ever was quite good enough to actually for him to date until he met Morgan. I could tell things really changed for him. When he met Morgan, there was just a whole different attitude about him. And, talking on the phone, it actually was just a little bit more of a relief to hear him say, "I love you, boo," to someone else besides Averill when he hung up the phone, so. They still say it, but it's just nice to hear somebody else get it too, so. Growing up, Garrett and I were only one grade apart. A lot of the same friends. I mean, I'm looking out here, and I feel like I'm practically at my own wedding. We do everything together. We even co-own a fantasy team together. Train Villainous is what we're called. Clap back to Train Heroic. Shout out to Josh. This week, we are playing Luigi. Can Luigi raise his hand, please? He's right there. Now, if at any point in time you see Luigi without a drink in his hand, please give him 2 drinks. I want him to be so obliterated, he doesn't know what he's doing in the morning when he's setting his fantasy lineup, all right? He already had Justin Tucker go off on Thursday, which is absolutely ridiculous. So we'll deal with that. So that's my meatball over there. All right, now a lot of you know Garrett, but I just wanted to trade a few little nuggets about him real quick, just to share. So when we were growing up, we shared bunk beds. Garrett hated to be the last one to fall asleep, and those nights where he had trouble falling asleep, Dean, what? You awake? Well, yeah, I am now. Thank God I'm a product of my dad, who will fall asleep in the credits of a movie he wants to watch. So I had a good time. It was easy to fall back asleep. It's a Prince vibe that we got. If you ever play Garrett in a video game, don't celebrate. Don't even smile when you do something well, because that video game is getting shut off almost immediately. You know, we all eat meals and everything. You know, Garrett is great at getting his dishes to the sink, but they never make their way in the dishwasher. He's a big fan of letting them soak, which is the way he puts it. Somehow they magically find their way in the dishwasher. I don't know who does it. My mom's hands are usually wrinkled from his dishes, though. But he's seen every episode of Grey's Anatomy, thanks to sisters. They backed out of the show, but he makes time every Saturday to watch what he DVR'd. He prefers NSYNC over Backstreet Boys, but honestly, who doesn't? When we were in high school, Garrett was 5'11", 130 pounds, all right? Thanks to a lot of the guys that are here now, a lot of football players that bailed on us on the basketball team. They wanted to commit to football. Garrett was forced to play power forward for us. The kid didn't stand a chance down there, but he was the scrappiest kid in our school pretty much, and he just elbows and fingers. You wouldn't know where they were coming from, but scrappiest kid. We were terrible. We only won 2 games that year, but what's up, Lil? Coming all the way from New York. What's up, baby? It's my guy. In high school, Garrett was asked to a turnabout date, and his quick thinking, the best thing he could come up with was, I need to ask my mom. That was his response. Now, I know if Garrett could see her today, he would want to apologize. Really, you know what? Heather, you're here, right? Heather? Yeah, Garrett, you want to apologize to Heather real quick?
Heather, I have no idea what he's talking about. I'd be honored to go with you.
Now he wants to go, right? Classic GP right there. Garrett loves pizza, but only a way for him to shovel a half of can of Parmesan cheese into his mouth. It's just a shovel. That's all the pizza is. He's the same way with sour cream with Mexican food. Little known fact, this is actually Garrett's 3rd wife. His first wife, he played in a major role in the Mozart production of Bartlett Elementary School's choir performance. He actually had a solo performance. Garrett, do you want another shot at that line? I know you still know it. You practiced it for a month, and it's only gonna be real. Here we go. You know the line, right?
I don't know the line. I don't know the line. My son and my daughter and me.
You know, practice, it ingrains it in your brain. Don't let anyone ever tell you that practice doesn't make perfect. He still knows it, and he crushed it again. I got plenty of pictures with that wig of that Mozart. You like, Mom, good work on that costume. His second wife, also in a production. This one was at Living Lord. His wife, some of you may have heard of her, the Virgin Mary. Garrett played a wonderful Joseph, wonderful. I think it ended. They had a little bit of trouble with commitments. You know, she's like, oh, I magically got pregnant. He's like, I'm not buying it. So, like, it didn't work out. By the way, Jesus called and he said, you're a terrible father. Boom, roasted. Garrett was also a poet. 5th grade, he wrote a dare poem about staying away from drugs. I actually have that here, right here. So this is untitled. This is Garrett from the 5th grade. His words from his heart about drugs. I am a kid in the 5th grade. Using drugs is not my trade. I work real hard and stay in school because taking drugs will make me a fool. That's true, right? I know the pressure will be on. I'll give the cold shoulder and walk right on. If I'm at a party and they're passing beer around, I don't want to be the kid in the car that can't be found. Yo, that's deep right there, man. Like, 5th grade? And then the end, he crushes it with, and when I'm older, looking back, I'll be proud I didn't do crack. Now you're in 5th grade. If you throw crack anywhere in your poem in the 5th grade, that's a winner. Like, he met the mayor, the police chief came out, you know, I think it was Abby's dad at the time. I saw some old pictures. Garrett, well done. True poet. You heard his words today. He killed it. Along those same dare lines, Garrett was with me the first time I got drunk. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Grady, you were there. Someone's got to buy the beer, you know. And the last thing I'm going to share is that Garrett is the most loyal person I've ever known. Prince curse. I should feel comfortable. The dance floor, this is where I do my work at, so. No, but Garrett, like, you've always been You've always been my role model. I've always looked up to you. All right? I've got your back forever. Morgan, you got a great guy. All right? That's pretty much all I All right, if everyone can raise their glass. And in the words of Coach Taylor, clear eyes, full heart, can't lose. Let's go.